My name is Nancy Nersessian. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a professor of cognitive science at Georgia Tech. And in my spare time, I sing opera and classical music. Well, I'm schizophrenic, right? Now, actually, I don't believe in right brain, left brain stuff, but I do feel that there are two aspects of my being that really need to be satisfied and addressed. So I really need the intellectual work. And although I love the music and the music speaks to my soul and gives me an outlet for emotional expression, it's not something that I could do to the exclusion of being able to sit back and think about how scientists think. My mother died when I was young, and so my brother and I were in foster care. My father was a truck driver, and in those days, a single parent, a male single parent, didn't have any way really to raise children. So he had us in foster care, in separate foster care. But on weekends and on holidays, we spent the time together. For boys of that generation and of those circumstances, the military is really the way out. You find a way to get to college, or you get to the military and do your college that way. I found a way to get to college, and my brother planned on doing all of that through the military. And so when he graduated at Fort Benning, he graduated as the youngest commissioned officer they had ever had. When you think about it, 19 years old, a commissioned officer, and being sent off to the battlefield in Vietnam. Although he had the smarts to do it, I doubt he had the emotional maturity, or anybody has the emotional maturity at that age. The Sentence by Anna Akhmatova. And the stone word fell from my still living breast. Never mind, I was ready. I will manage somehow. Today I have so much to do. I must kill memory once and for all. I must turn my soul to stone. I must learn to live again. Unless summer's ardent rustling is like a festival outside my window. For a long time, I have foreseen this brilliant day, deserted house. When I first came across the poem in the late 1970s, it was at a time when I was beginning to come to the realization that my brother's life would never be the life that we had envisioned before he went off to Vietnam. My brother's name was David Edward Nersessian. Edward, named after my father. He was beautiful. He was blonde-haired, blue-eyed. And for our little Armenian boy, that's a little strange. He just was sunshine. He had so many dreams. He had so many things he wanted to do. He was somebody you always noticed because he was always lively and full of energy and always there. And the brother who came back from Vietnam was quite a contrast in that my brother who left before was full of life, and my brother who returned didn't have any life in him. He was very edgy and jumpy, and everything bothered him. It was difficult for him to concentrate. Everyone thought that he would settle down. And then the realization sunk in that he had in fact become addicted to heroin while he was in Vietnam. He went into a treatment program and actually managed to kick that addiction. He never went back to heroin again. But the other problems never went away. The 4th of July in 1970 was the time in which I date David's death, even though David didn't die until 1997. He had been out on a mission and he was very, very tired, and he decided to ask a friend of his if he would walk point for him that day. And when Billy Sullivan walked point, Billy Sullivan died. And David never recovered from that. He always felt that he should have died that day. And every 4th of July after that, he had a terrible time. He was always flashbacks, nightmares. And I feel that I spent the next 30 years helping him to live as best he could. And he did live. He married, he had children, he did do that, but he was never able to pull his life together. He was always a broken man. When I think about, killing your memory, turning your soul to stone, these are inhuman tasks. And so I think that the poet, Anna Akhmatova, knew personally what this kind of trauma could do to you. Towards the end of the poem there, she talks about, this unless the summer's ardent rustling outside the window. But I feel when I read that what she's saying is not that there's a parade out there and I'm going to join it, but that she can't be part of it. And that's what I feel about my brother. It feels that my brother got a sentence. He got a life sentence when he went to Vietnam. Today, I have so much to do. I must kill memory once and for all. I must turn my soul to stone. I must learn to live again.
The Favorite Poem Project is made possible by the National Endowment for the Arts, fostering America's creativity and investing in our living cultural heritage. Additional funding has been provided by the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation and by the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation.